Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Baba Shri Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe.
Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva.
Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaur.
Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaur.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Shri Radha Madhava ki
Jai.
Panchatattva ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Bol.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Urinaya Yasta Presa Bhavadreshi Nityam bhaktaseva Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. Continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 10 Canto Part 3 Chapter 58. Text number 11. 10:58 11. Yudhishthira Uvacha Kim Na Acharitam Shreyo Na Vedaham Adishvara Yogeshvara Durdarso Yang No Drista Kumedasam Yudhishthira Uvacha Kimna Acharitam Shreyo Navedaham Adishvara Yogeshvaram Durdarso Yanno Vista Komedasam Yudhishthira Uvacha Kimna Acharanam Shreyo Navedaham Adishvara Yogeshvaranam Durdarso Yanno Vista Komedasam Yudhishthira Uvacha Kimna Acharitam Shreyo Navedaham Adishvara Yogeshvaranam Durdarso Yanno Vista Komedasam. Word for word. Yudhishthira Uvacha. Yudhishthira said, Kim, what? Na, by us, Acharitam, perform. Shreya, pious work. Naveda, do not know. Aham, I, Adishvara, O Supreme Controller. Yoga, of mystic yoga. Ishvaranam, by the masters. Durdarsaha, rarely seen. Yat, that, na, by us. Drista, seen. Kumedasam, who are unintelligent. Translation. King Yudhishthira said, O Supreme Controller, I do not know what pious deeds we fools have done, so that we can see you, whom the masters of yogic perfection rarely see. No perfect, so we'll proceed with textual. Iti vai varsikam masam Rajnaso vyartita sukham Gyanayana nandam Indra prasta ukasam Bidhu Iti. Translation. Requested by the king to stay with them, the Almighty Lord remained happily in Indraprastha during the months of the rainy season, giving joy to the eyes of the city's residents. Purport. If people, the readers of Bhagavatam, should try to correctly chant the Sanskrit verses, which are exquisitely poetic. So, if possible, see, we all have different tongues. I remember one time when the Japanese Prime Minister visited the Philippines. He said that the Filipinos are very lucky people. Very, very lucky. Because you have a president who loves you. And you have a first lady who loves you even more. Because their L is R. It's difficult for them to pronounce. Just like sometimes our Eastern brothers and sisters from China, when they pronounce the mantra, Hare, it becomes Hale. But Krishna knows, he is the knower of everything. Om Adhyana Tirindasya Nanandana Salakaya Chaksuramilitam Yena Asmai Sri Gurube Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutane Swayam Vipakadamayam Vidati Swapanantikam Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Vikasinudya Echa Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavidda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Kindly bless me so that I may speak something that can please our Lord and purify all of us.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So text 11 and 12. Yudhishthira is very humbly expressing, devotees, they're always humble. He's saying, how is it possible what they have done, some pious deeds? He calls himself a fool so that he can see Krishna. He's asking what sort of pious deeds he has done. See, the cowherd boys, they have done Kripna Punya Punya, heaps and heaps of pious points bago nila, before they were given the opportunity to associate with the Lord. So, in his humble mood, Yudhishthira is asking, O Supreme Controller, what pious deeds we fools have done? Because during that time, when Krishna was here in the Mahabharata, not everybody saw Krishna for what he is. There were so many people there close to him, but they did not see Krishna as the Supreme. For instance, the Kauravas, they were with Krishna the whole time, but they never saw him as the Supreme. So it's not actually the distance or the actual presence of Krishna. Even Jesus Christ explained this. He says that lucky is he who believes in me, but not even seeing me. This is faith. So, not everything that you see is for real. Sometimes, what we do not actually see. For instance, our vision is limited, You can only see for a couple of yards. Even eagles has better eyesight than we do. Eagles, they have a vision that can hone in on the prey from 1,000 yards, according to the National Geographic Channel. If the eagles are hunting, they can hone in on the prey from 1,000 yards. So our vision is limited. And even those who have seen Krishna face to face, but did not have the proper points or credit points. They were unable to have faith in him. But Krishna is none different from the deities. He's none different from the books, his literary incarnation, Srimad bhagavatam. He's none different from his holy names. So it is not just by seeing that one can develop his faith, that one can cultivate his prema or love of God. Actually, according to the instructions of the Vedas, there are 9 processes of devotional service. Shraddhanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padaram Sevaram, Atmanam Bandaram Dakshan, Satyam Atma Naivedam. But the most prominent is the hearing and chanting, because it denotes Smaranam, remembrance. So we're very fortunate because this is only available in Kali Yuga, Jai Kali Yuga. Even Lord Chaitanya was once quoted when he was waiting for Kali Yuga, and he was cheering, Jai Kali Yuga, Jai Kali Yuga. And the other devotees was questioning him, why are you Jaying Kali Yuga? It's the most darkest season for humanity. Well, he said, because only in Kali Yuga that the process of going back home has been simple for the simple, easy for those who cultivate it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's why it's important to be humble. Like the third stanza on Siksasta, we recite every day. Pinarapi Sunesena, Arorapi Sestira, Marina Manadena, magaling na yung memory mo sa'yo. Good, good. Kasi ang isa pang effects nito is nadanam nasin na rin. No desire to accumulate wealth or any number. I want a devotional service. Activate. Najanam nasundara. Hindi more janam, more sundara. More chicks, more money, more responsibility. No. In devotees, ito yung kanyang sinusuot na ornaments, being compassion, being humble. He is considered kalpavriksati. Remember, pag tayo nagbibigay ng humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desire trees. So, ano siya? Para dukha-dukhi. Nakikita niya yung suffering ng iba. And he does not just feel sorry. He does not just feel sympathy, but he empathizes. Meron siyang ginagawa. Something to help. Hindi yung sorry lang siya sa kalooban niya, pero wala naman siyang ginaganapan. Right? A devotee is trying to help. And of course, our help, our charity starts with family. And the best thing you can do to your family is to become a devotee. Not ordinary, mediocre devotee, but try and go beyond mediocrity. Because sometimes good is not good enough. I remember Swayam Bhagavan gave a story about uh, good people were in a daughter and a mother went to the cemetery, and there the wife, was feeling morose, talking to the husband, and the daughter, she went around the cemetery. Then after some time, the daughter went back to the mother, and the daughter asked her mother, "Mom, where are all the bad people buried? Where are all the horrible people buried?" And the mother asked, "What do you mean?" "Well," the daughter says, "everybody in this cemetery is good people." "What do you mean?" "Everybody on the epitaph is a lapidary. It says, good husband, good wife, good brother, good teacher. Everybody here is good and dead. Where are all the horrible people? Where are the bad people buried?" So, is it okay to be good and dead? No, it's not. So we have to go beyond just being good. Strive to go above mediocrity. To do better. What's best for others, best for ourselves first, of course. Cover your bases, because we cannot actually give what we do not have. We cannot teach what we do not know. So, first, we learn a little, we share a little. And Krishna willing, the more you try, the more Krishna will provide. He is very, very merciful. Remember the story of Draupadi, when Krishna incarnated himself into an unlimited sari. So much so that the people trying to undress Draupadi, namely Dushasana, he got exhausted and he just gave up. This sari never ends. That is the mercy of Krishna. It is unending. So, His Highness, Yudhishthira Maharaj, is in a way bowing down to Krishna with his simple words, calling himself a fool. I remember my Guru Maharaj being so humble also. He calls himself a worm on the stool. We were at the hospital, we visited Prabhu Bong, the husband of Mother Aditi. There was one moment in time when he got into a bad crowd and he got stabbed somehow twice, but he survived. By Krishna's mercy, he survived. So me and Guru Maharaj, we visited him in the hospital. And as soon as Guru Maharaj gave him a hug, he started, crying. He realized, that he is so fortunate that Maharaj would come and visit him and give his mercy and association. These are the servants of Krishna, always prepared to go out of their ordinary. They go beyond what most ordinary people would just do. He doesn't just, I'll give my best to him, or, write or text. He actually went and visited him. It goes to say a lot about people who have elevated personalities. They are willing to go the whole 9 yards, the whole shebang, to fortify the faith of the people. Because 99.99% of the population needs Krishna consciousness. I remember another story from Gauranga Fall. He said the situation for the devotees is like a place where people go when they have mental deficiency, mental hospital. The patients there, they're all just loitering about. And some of them are just, staring at the wall. Some of them are, doing nonsense. And then, when the doctor would enter the room where all these patients are kind of hanging out, the doctor, with a clipboard and a nice brushed up hair with a nice doctor uniform, speak in span white. As soon as he enters the room, the patients would look at him, and the patients would ask, "What's wrong with him?" This is the case for us. The devotees, they go around wearing this uniform, singing, distributing prasadam and literatures, and the people are asking, what is wrong with these people? You don't know that we're trying to cure you. We're trying to help you. We're trying to get you back in track because you have lost your way. The material life is kind of like a well, a dark well. And when you enter a dark well, that's it. Animals who enters the dark pit of the well, very rare that they would be able to come out of it, unless somebody with a golden heart would endeavor to get them out. But most of the time, those animals, they will just die in the black pit hell of material life. But fortunately, we have been tasked, we have been given the opportunity and the responsibility to propagate Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whoever knows this science should propagate this. And start simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because, we all know that the holy names is not different from the Lord Himself. But it really changes the consciousness of the people. It really touches the heart. Personally, in my experience, this is what has happened. Chanting, prasadam, philosophy, and then after some time, I lost my hair. That's why sometimes some people would say, I'm not sure I want to have prasadam. And when you ask them, why not? Because I want to keep my beautiful hair. I don't want to lose my hair. Well, actually, when you start chanting, when you start following regulative principles, you're not just going to lose your hair. Some people are asking, what do you gain by coming to Krishna consciousness? What do you benefit? what do you get? I said, I don't get anything, but I lose many things. I lose my anger. I lose my lust, my greed. I lose my negativities. This is taken away. My lower taste are being eradicated and replaced with higher taste. Slowly, slowly, because I'm covered in a lot of mud. I'm still covered. I just got a little bit rinsed, laban but I haven't really been cleaned thoroughly. It's still in the process. But what's beautiful about this practice is there is no loss or diminution, as Krishna says to Arjuna. Declare it boldly, Arjuna. My devotees never perishes. They start where they left off. For instance, we finished at 10-15%. And it kickstart again. And you start over. You start where we left off. You don't start from scrap, back to zero. No. Krishna is so merciful that He maintains what we have and He carries what we need. He would give it at a time when we need it the most, when we need it, how we need it. See, we're still like babies. And the babies cannot actually, there's no need to tell the parents what we need. Babies don't tell, oh mom, I need diapers. I want carrots, peaches. Parents know actually everything that the baby needs. This is psychic link that cannot be explained, and this is what we have in the Supreme Lord. And this is actually what the scientists have been saying about the missing link. One time, Nat Geo, Natural Geographic says that the missing link is the silicon, the fish that it is so old that it appears like a human being, but it's actually a fish. It dwells at the bottom part of the ocean, a silicon fish. They said it's a missing link between how the evolution came to humanity. But Prabhupada, there's a very funny story about this. Prabhupada says, we have no problem with Darwin's theory that humanity came from the monkeys. Prabhupada agrees. I agree that man came from monkeys, but only Darwin's family. My family? No. Only Darwin's family. Because he's the one who said that theory. So we agree. No problem, Darwin. That's what you like. Yeah, sure. If you're happy about it, your family came from monkeys. Hoo, ha ha. Good for you. But the evolution that we're talking about is spiritual evolution. See, sometimes our consciousness, everybody is born in the darkness or ignorance. Very rare are those gifted people that are born enlightened. So, from being born to ignorance, passion, and then by the mercy of Guru, Sadhu, Ancestor, we come to not just goodness, but even above goodness, pure goodness, or Krishna consciousness. And by this, then we will qualify to also help others come to Krishna consciousness Yes. This Krishna consciousness is a preaching movement. And if you are not preaching, it's like you are saving water on a broken container. It will leak off, and eventually very little of knowledge, that little of that water will remain with you. So we need to keep cultivating ourselves. We need to not just be good, but we need to go beyond goodness. Go more. And this is possible only if we keep endeavoring. And then Krishna, being so kind and merciful, will give us what we need when we need it. After all, Krishna is the source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of all causes. Even sometimes the things that are not very favorable to us. Sometimes we have adversity that happens in our lives, reverse things from what we are trying to accomplish. But either we are in adversity or prosperity, we have to know that this is Krishna. Only Krishna can do things to us. Actually, Maharaj Swayam Bhagavan explains that things are not happening to us. Things are happening for us. Krishna is doing these things, whether good things or bad things, only so that you can come to Him. After all, what is the worst disease? I asked this with the students when I was in laws, medical students. And some of them says, of course, HIV, AIDS, this is the worst disease. And some says, cancer, so many kind of cancers, and still uncurable, many of them. High blood pressure, stress, duress. And they pitch back the question to me, and they said, what about you, Prabhu? What do you think is the worst disease? I said, according to the scriptures, not according to me, the worst kind of disease is forgetfulness of God. If you're forgetting God, He will remind you. And sometimes, when He reminds us, it is something that is not very favorable. But we should remember, though we do not belong to this world. As C.S. Lewis, the very famous author, says that if there is, in my experience, that cannot be fulfilled, no matter what I do in this world, then the conclusion is I must belong to another place, which is the spiritual plateau. See, we are now in the material plane, where the more you try to gain, the more you become discontent. Just like the poorest president in history, in Paraguay, he cut his salary into 90% off. He was only taking 10%, and he used his salary to help the poor people. He did the same with his senators. He cut them into 50%, and whenever he gets sick, he would go to a public hospital. He drives a Volkswagen Beetle, and while most people are saying he is the most poorest president, he does not see himself as the poorest president. He's kind of like a yogi, He says, actually, the poorest person are those who have a lot of money, because they are so poor, so poor that they only have a lot of money. And money means attachment. If you do not know how to use this properly, people who have a lot of money are constantly discontent. Even the Beatles says, can't buy me love. So the most precious thing in this world cannot be bought by money. Unless, of course, you utilize it like Srila Prabhupada did in the service of the Lord. You put back where it belongs. Utilize it back to the owner, and he will be pleased. And when he is pleased, then you will be elated, inside and outside and all around, happy. First, it's his happiness, the boss first, then you come second. This is the mentality of devotees, always trying to please the Lord. And it is accomplished simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Alright, we got 7 minutes. We'll open the mic. Kung may tanong kayo, I'll try to answer. Or if you have anything to share. Any reactions? Bukas. Text number 13, 14. Okay? Thank you for tolerating me. Please forgive me for my offenses. Enter Srimad bhagavatam ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.
Mahaprasadam ki.
No holiness.
Tadi kisah apa lagi?